Hello everyone, this is Yann Joignon from South Asia Communications at the World Bank, live from our offices in Washington DC in the United States. So our Facebook Live discussion today will explore how information and communications technology and digital technologies in general are creating new job opportunities for workers and employers in South Asia and beyond. Specifically, we'll discuss three different topics. First, we'll identify what exactly are these new promising digital jobs. Second, we'll explore how South Asia is uniquely positioned to benefit from a new wave of digital jobs. And last, we'll discuss what kind of skills are required for anyone interested in a career in digital communications, in digital technologies, and how they can get the training and the learning opportunities they need. So to discuss these and any other topics, I'm here with my two distinguished colleagues from the World Bank. First of all, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
I'm here with Anna O'Donnell, who's a senior social development specialist at the bank. She's been working on youth empowerment and inclusion in the digital economy, especially in South Asia. And my second guest, Siddhartha, but we'll call him Sid. This morning, Siddhartha Raja, who's a World Bank Senior Specialist for Technology and Jobs. Sid leads the World Bank thinking on how technology is reshaping the world of work, and especially focusing on the implication for skills and job today and in the future.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And let's get started with you, Sid, with a very simple question. What exactly is a digital job, and how can you learn it?
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me, and hello to everyone out there. It's a simple question with a very complicated answer, but let me try to make it as useful for our audience by talking about two aspects of a digital job. And in both cases, you could say that the common factor is that digital technologies or information and communication technologies form the basic tool that is used in that job. And so you could think of two kinds of jobs that emerge from that. One is in the so-called digital industries, where you're a software programmer or a mobile applications developer. Maybe you're a graphic designer. Maybe your job is to host Facebook Live chats. And so the information technology is the key part of that job. Not knowing it means you can't do the job. On the other hand, you have also digital society jobs, where technology is not the only thing that you use there, but it is helping you make your work more efficient, more productive. It gives you better communication, access to markets, and so on. And so think about the fact that if you walk into a bank today or a hospital today, you're seeing a lot of people using a lot of information technology, whether it's to manage your accounts or your transactions or patient records, etc. So those are the kinds of digital jobs that exist today. And there's a very wide range, going from very basic data entry jobs to very high-skilled, high-wage paying programmer, or even artificial intelligence designers and so on, people who are doing a lot of very complicated calculations and computing. So there's a wide range of these kinds of jobs. So an opportunity for everybody, I'd like to say.
And thank you. And just to add on that, what do you think helped create these jobs? What is driving the emergence of these new digital jobs, especially in South Asia?
In fact, I'd like to use this as a way to give an example from South Asia. If you think about a country such as India, which has about 3.5 million people today working in the digital industries, in the IT sector, as we call it, versus, let's say, about 5 million people working in the financial services industry. So as technology has become more prevalent and more popular, it's something that has found its way into our homes and our offices. It's not just the Infosys or the IT companies of the world, for example, the Wipros and so on, that are using this technology, but also the banks, as I mentioned before, hospitals and so on. And we're all now using this in our daily lives. And so this reducing cost of computing, the reducing cost of telecommunications has made it more and more easy to distribute work and to have more people participate in transactions. That's number one. And number two is, in a way, a continuation of what we've seen with outsourcing, where companies have been looking for less expensive places to get their work done, and that a lot of that work has now become digitizable in digital form. So whether it's designing aeroplane engine parts or it's banking transactions again, things which are easily done in a digital form. And so a combination of these factors combined with other things but these two are the main drivers, the lower cost of technology and also these businesses looking for cheaper and faster ways to get their things done, their work done. Those are two of the big drivers that have pushed us towards more and more digital jobs.
Thank you very much. And we'll go back at the end of this session on the specific learning opportunities, and for people interested in digital jobs. So we'll get back to that at the end. But in the meantime, I'd like to ask you, Anna, you've been writing lots of blogs on youth and digital opportunities in South Asia. And what do you think specifically South Asia is well positioned to benefit from this new wave of digital jobs?
Yeah, I mean, South Asia, I think, is uniquely positioned right now in terms of the potential to participate in the global digital economy, as it were. I mean, first and foremost, just because it has a very high population. I mean, you've got India with over 1 billion, you've got Pakistan with 200 million, Bangladesh with 160 million people. So it's a very large workforce, and of those. Of that population, even if it's a small percentage, you still have large numbers of people who are skilled in this area. So computer programmers or people who have basic digital skills who can participate in this economy. Second, though, you also have a fairly good education system with computer science. So a lot of people who are already skilled in this area. And again, just the volume of people in the South Asian continent can contribute and position itself nicely for that. You have, because of historical reasons, a relatively large population that speaks English, and right now participating in this global economy, speaking English is also an advantage. So those are all things that speak well. And then finally, the labor costs are relatively low in South Asia. So we see wages that are fairly competitive. And actually what we see is that even though the labor costs are lower in South Asia, even if you're participating at double those wages in the global online marketplaces, you're still relatively competitive vis-a-vis other countries where costs of living are potentially higher. So you can earn more money by working online, or you can earn more money by participating in these global value chains and outsourcing, and yet still remain competitive in the global economy.
And talking about that, a question to both of you. What do you think policymakers or government in South Asia can do to encourage the growth of even more, digital jobs and provide more opportunities to youth in the region? Sid, do you want to talk about that?
Of course. I think the first thing that you need for participation in the digital economy generally, and of course to have a digital job, is infrastructure, access to the internet, for example. And we've seen in the last decade a rapid expansion of internet connectivity across South Asia, but there still is quite a lagging participation. So a lot of people have access to it, but they're not using it maybe as effectively as they could. A lot of them are not necessarily using it for employment or for economically productive activities. And so the first thing that needs to be done is to give people access to technology. But then the second, therefore, is also skills. As Anna was just saying, language skills are critical to participate in the global digital economy. Almost all of this is now happening in English. There are, of course, other languages which are prevalent, but English is really number one. So that's a very important skill to have. And then also technical skills, so that people have a valued skill which is globally relevant, whether it's programming or in banking or in legal services or in graphic design, something that